Hi, I'm Harry AA. Here's my top 5 tips for sprinting. Before a race, I'd recommend the night before eating lots of protein. So, whether it be chicken or salmon, but just, especially carbs with that as well. So you just want chicken and rice, or chicken and pasta, or salmon and pasta. Something to kind of let the muscles know what's about to happen, so that when they do replenish the next day, they've got something to recover from. The morning of the race, you do want something light, but you want a lot of carbs because, especially if you've got rounds, you're going to want to be able to last. And, like a big breakfast. I do like a bit of a fry up sometimes, but keep that on the D-low. But no, just a bit of cereal, bit of porridge. Porridge always goes a long way. I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so I will pour a lot of honey in. My second tip to how to mentally prepare is it's quite a funny one actually, because it just depends on you as a person. For me personally, I like to, whether it be a week before or a day before, depending on how big the race is, just like to relax, just like to be around my friends and family, like to play a lot of PlayStation. Football Manager comes in hand quite often. If I'm abroad, get the laptop out, watch a few movies. But when it does come to race day, when it does come to crunch time, it's all about focus, trying to stay focused, trying to think about what's in hand, think about what everything means to you. And I never like to be too serious, but I like to know where my goal is. I will have a little chat with someone if I need to relax a little bit, if I need to chill out a bit, try and have a little joke with my coach. But it's just all about staying close to your goal. And for me, music does that. Listening to my iPod, listening to a bit of Rinse FM, a bit of Marcus Nasty, is a DJ I like to listen to, and just staying focused keeps me in the mood. If you've got your headphones on, people aren't going to really want to talk to you. Just taking that approach, I think, goes a long way. My third tip would be to have an idol, looking up to someone, following someone who you think you kind of customise to, who you think you can emulate. Personally, I'm 5'10", I'm not the tallest of guys. I'm pretty strong, I'm pretty big, so for me I like to look at Maurice Greene. Maurice Greene was one of the best sprinters of all time. He ruled the 90s into the 2000s, and he's a legend. His technique was one of the best ones. He brought in the drive phase, and for me that's something I feel that I can copy, I could emulate. Looking at his technique, he's got one of the best techniques. He'd often come through races, he often would win races from the start, he'd often, he was an ultimate runner. For someone who wasn't that tall either, he was 5'9". So, having an idol, and personally for me, Maurice Greene, for the taller guys, whether it be Usain Bolt, for the even shorter guys, it might be Tim Montgomery, for the big guys, it might be Linford Christie, but just to have an idol, you've got to look at someone and copy them, just to see how they did it, just to see where you can go and what you can then take from it. My fourth tip would be one of my best dynamic routines. After I've jogged and stretched and done some more drills, I do a dynamic routine. This tends to be on the floor. This just, mobilises my back, gets my legs ready for a bit of a quick movement. Just I'm going to show it to you now. So just literally getting on the floor, start with some leg swings. So your leg comes up and over again. You tend to do this pretty fast. And then you're going to go back, you rock back, your legs start high, and you just go back, your legs touch the floor. And then you're going to take it slow down. This is a little routine I do 3 or 4 times a day. Whenever my back gets tight, whenever my muscles don't exactly feel like they're that stretched out, I think that one comes in handy. My fifth and final tip for you guys starting out would just be to have fun, find your local track, find a nice group, find a decent coach. Just have fun with it, enjoy the sport, enjoy the people around you, enjoy what you can offer. And then, it gets serious later on. But you've always got to remember why you started and why you love the sport. And for me personally, I always try to remember that. I still go back to my local club, still go and see the people that I started to train with. And, it's nice to recap on those things because it brings back a lot of happy memories. And that's the main thing you want. You want to leave the sport with happy memories. So that's my final tip.